Hello, and thank you so much for joining us for your Smackdown post-show. Got all sorts of technology stuff going on. I was glitchy before. Alex is on his phone because he's had some cable internet outages, whatever going on. But we are here with your Smackdown post-show. So excited to talk about this episode going into King and Queen of the Ring tomorrow. That pay-per-view, an early one. So Pulowski and I will keep you updated on when our Fightful Select show is. We have some negotiating to do there, I think, as far as the start time. But you'll also have a main channel post-show as usual, followed by Double or Nothing on Sunday. Pulowski and I will be behind the paywall again reviewing that. Same deal. You'll have a main channel one, but a good excuse to subscribe to Fightful Select. Best $5 in the biz. Very excited for a weekend full of wrestling. We hope you're having a safe and wonderful Memorial Day, but get in those super chats, get in those humper chats at humperchats.com. Please leave a thumbs up on this video to help people find us in the algorithm. Looking forward to digging into this episode of SmackDown. But Cardoza, what's going on with you? You got this internet outage, but other than that, how are things?
Listen, I want to apologize to everyone right now. I can't deal with these companies that shut off internet because they got work to do. It's all about me. They got to think about me. They got to think about me doing this show on a Friday night. They think that they're doing me a service by shutting it off, not during working hours. Hello, I run my own business. I'm here with Cape Friday nights. This is work. AT&T, you owe me.
It's true. AT&T, we're coming for you. All right.
Yeah.
But not really, because they're my internet provider or my mobile provider, and they gave me a good deal on my last phone. So whatever. But anyway, get in your super chats, get in your humper chats. We are going to talk King and Queen of the Ring. No Sean tonight because he was a Lexington legend today. He threw out the first pitch at the Lexington Legends game. Go Lex Legends on X. I'm very disappointed that he threw it well. There's no 50 Cent meme coming out of him. He said that was the goal, was to not become a meme for him, but very excited that he got to do that. I'm very happy that he was able to enjoy that. He deserves it after a very long couple of months, really, and headed into a long weekend of wrestling. But we've got SmackDown to talk about tonight. Luis just finding out now, I guess. But yeah. Independent League Baseball, baby. Sean Ross Sapp taking over.
That. I think he was in Jeddah, but
I know. They might sign him for all I know. They were the counter clocks for a season. Brandon Phillips owned them at one point. They've been through a lot, that Lexus Legends franchise, but give them a follow. Show them some love. Show Sean some love. You can find them on Instagram. Hopefully we can coerce them into putting up a video or something, but go Lex Legends on the old X. But enough about Sean. Enough about that guy. He was burying me because I got locked out of Twitter this week thanks to Tom Campbell. We'll get into all that and more. But I'll be free. I'll be free late tomorrow. But Alex, what did you think of tonight's episode of SmackDown? I thought for a predictable go-home show, it was pretty all right. The pacing was fine. It was kind of standard and very, very go-homey. And also curious to know if you watched it this afternoon or if you watched it in our usual time slot, because we had some afternoon wrestling today between this and Rampage.
Let me tell you something. We had a plethora of afternoon wrestling. So I actually stayed away from it. I really wanted to kind of watch it tonight and get the feeling. I did see a couple spoilers that just kind of came through with the whole Nia Jax thing. But other than that, I stayed away from it. But it's also a very predictable card towards the end. Very unpredictable when it first started. I was really pumped for it. But now that it winded down to the finals, I was just like, okay, it is what it was, except for the Nia. I was not expecting Nia. So,
well, there you go. I think that's part of it too as we go through tournaments, right? You start to do some heel and face math, and then certain winners are winning on certain nights, especially with two shows going on. You can kind of do some reverse engineering into who is going to be taking those final slots. So a little bit more predictable. This kind of from the beginning for the men's side to me has felt like Gunther's to win. Like if you're going to do this and you're going to have Gunther in it, it's kind of like he can't lose based on what you've built out for him so far. And I think hopefully that's what we will be getting tomorrow. But nice to have a tournament. Also, I can only assume that Triple H was watching Sour Graps with me and Alex Pulowski, because Alex Pulowski said, they used to have this thing be a title shot at SummerSlam. I wish they had thrown some stakes on this thing. And wouldn't you know it, a couple days later, Triple H says, hey, that's the stipulation. And I think Alex would prefer that maybe he listened to a lot of other things that we talk about, but we'll take that one. We got some super chats that have come in from you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Van Twinblade saying, announcer voice, bangs, bangs, gang, buns up. I got a little top knot situation going on here. We thank you so much. Absolutely, the bangs gang. You're a part of it, even if you don't have bangs, Van Twinblade, because you're a supporter. But
if you're banging, wait, no, that's not. That's completely not.
We don't have that tonight, unfortunately. There's not a Bluetooth segue there, but I like where your head's at. You were trying to.
I tried, Kate. I'm trying to be like you.
We got Kylie saying, hey, cuties, I got a 3-day weekend, baby. Well, hell yeah.
Let's go.
We love that. I hope everybody's getting a little relaxation in, thinking, of course, about the true meaning of Memorial Day as well, but also taking some of that TLC wherever we can get it, right? So Sheldon Jackson saying, fun fact, the King and Queen of the Ring winner receiving a world title shot will be the first world title shot awarded to a winner since the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, defeated RVD in King of the Ring of 2002. My goodness.
Wow.
So it's been a while since it was anything more than an artificial device, I guess. I do like whenever there are stakes thrown onto something.
I was a tiny little pup in 2002.
That's right. We were all babies. I am 24, so I was 2 years old when that happened, according to the lore that this wonderful community has created for me. Tim McFowle saying it's Sands of Blind tomorrow. I can't believe I didn't mention that. Sands of Blind, me and Alex Pulowski do a specialty show because Alex doesn't watch the Saudi Arabia shows because he has like moral principles, but I don't. So what I do is I watch and I explain to him what happens.
Kate.
And I throw in 3 lies and he has to detect them. It's our most popular post show that we do, I think, behind there. So
twice a year.
Yeah, a couple times a year. I think we'll see what happens there. But let's get into this episode of SmackDown. I did also want to say I felt like last week was not my best show, and I don't take wrestling podcasting too seriously, but I do take my work seriously. And we kind of skipped over a couple things last week. And one of them was the spooky lore, because it's not really for either of us. And it wasn't technically like in the programming, but I'm going to recap some of what we got because it is for a lot of people and they put a lot of creative effort into those things. And I want to give it its due justice. So at the end of this show, we're going to talk about spooky lore regarding the Wyatt Six. But for now, we finally get into SmackDown as I've been talking at you for 8 minutes.
8 strong minutes.
8 strong minutes. I would like to think so. But we start off with our women's Queen of the Ring semifinal. This was a good match. We kind of knew going into it what was going to be going on with Bianca because they had her injured knee take place previously, and you could only assume that was going to come into play, especially against someone like Nia Jax. But this ends with Nia hitting Bianca with the Annihilator, her bonsai drop to advance. And for what they were going to give us, I thought this was a decent match. You kind of knew what the ending was going to be, I think, with Lyra on the other side. To your point, they could have pulled an upset and had Bianca, because I think Lyra and Bianca would actually be a pretty fun match based on their in-ring. But she does a good job selling the knee. You get Bianca with a diving crossbody and the knee bothering her when she lands. She looks for a backbreaker and her knee gives out, and you just have Nia posting that knee into the mat, excuse me, and snapping back on her leg. And then, of course, the ending where Bianca tries to get under her and her leg gives out a third time. We have a senton that connects and the bonsai drop. What did you think of our opening women's match? And were you surprised by the result?
Very surprised. I did not have Nia coming in into the finals at all. Nowhere. But here we are. And I think it's well deserved. Naya in the past has not been used very well. Obviously she was let go by the company and came back. She's been actually been booked a little bit better. She's seems like a menace, stronger. I think in the past they tried to play up too much of that punch that she did to Becky a couple years back. But outside of that, like there hasn't been nothing that really screams to me and says, "Man, this," and I think her wrestling's great, um, sometimes, but she's like when she really puts her mind into what she wants to do, man, she's like, I love her character. She gets angry, she beats people up. I love that about her.
This definitely has been an improvement to me over the work that we had seen in her previous runs, especially in ring. I'm still not totally sold on it. I feel like there's more that can be done. And I do think at the end of the day, we're going to get Queen Lyra. My preference would be that Lyra loses, and that's how Becky starts to help her out. The possibility that Liv Morgan costs Lyra to get to Becky also definitely exists. So you could see Queen Nia. And honestly, with Nia, she could win it here. Like, I think this one could kind of go either way because her getting a title shot makes sense. And she's taken a lot of high profile losses, like
Yes.
quality losses, but they kind of do need to give her something. They kind of do need to give her something. We've got super chats and humper chats coming in hot and fast. We thank you so much. We're going to go through some of those right now. Bad Robot saying, hello, favorite post show. Well, hello.
Hello.
Extremely kind. I'll just go back to Roomba. I was trying to think of more fictional robots. I try and cycle them in and out, but the Roomba's the most fun ones. We're getting a PLE with no bloodline. Well, we'll see about that. I'm not sure if it's been said, but maybe a new era. Nobody has ever mentioned a new era before, but Lyra Nia has me hyped. Oh, man, you and Alex Pulowski both. I want the King General, but I could see Randy King Orton. Now, it would be interesting to see if they went in the direction of two heels for King and Queen of the Ring, right? I don't feel like they usually do that. To me, it feels like you can't have Gunther be in this if he's not going to win. Kind of feels like when they had Bryan Danielson be in Royal Rumble to not win it. Like, there's certain things that just don't put them in the thing if you don't want them to win. Or better example, more recent example, if you weren't going to have Cody Rhodes and take Royal Rumble for a title shot, don't have him win it in the first place, right? So they reverse engineered out of that, but I really am intrigued to see which direction this goes. I feel like it's more likely Gunther wins than Randy. I think it's more likely Lyra wins than Nia, but that one feels way more up in the air to me. What are your thoughts? Are you feeling Gunther here?
Corey Brennan with bangs down here. What are you doing? Lyra
I didn't
Valkyria
say I
wins.
like it. I'm just saying I think it's a possibility.
They're not going to have both King and Queen on Raw. They're going to have one on each show.
Okay, but then you have two heels. That feels kind of weird.
But it doesn't matter because the two shows they do coinciding storylines and think we won't notice. One show has one heel monarch and the other show has a different heel monarch, but they're like, nobody's going to notice. That's what's going to happen, obviously. I was planning on lurking back there the whole damn show. But no, you got to go. Lyra Valkyria is going to win. I get enough of that crap from Corey Brennan online, okay?
Out of nowhere, like an RKO, Alex Pulowski appears. I just think it's a possibility. I think it's a possibility.
Reason that it's even going to, people are even getting title shots is because of me anyway. Because people watched the show on Monday night and said, oh, that's a good idea. We actually haven't given anybody a title shot in SummerSlam since 2002. So he's like, yes, let's do that. But that wasn't in the cards until now.
It wasn't. It is I can't say. We can't report it as fact, but it is an undeniable correlation that you said it on Fightful Select, the best $5 in business.
True.
Right? And then all of a sudden, a couple days later, we don't need to drop any QR codes here at Fightful for you guys to make direct connections. You know what I mean?
Right. So here's the deal. I was going to do the old sour graps over there on the other show. Okay? But because I have moral turpitude, I wasn't allowed to watch SmackDown. Otherwise, I'd be a hypocrite. And that I am not. So I was gonna just do a whole thing about the episode of Rampage today, but guess what my DVR didn't do?
Oh no.
Oh no.
So I have nothing to review, so I'm just hanging out back there, and I'll pop in to yell about something if I so choose.
Well, fine, but for now we're going to take you off screen and you can yell later. How's that? Anyway, if you want to see where Triple H is getting all of his ideas from, FightfulSelect.com. Zach putting it over with a generous super chat. Very kind of you, Zach, to say, going to plug Fightful Select Discord, specifically as I'm trying some new stuff, such as a watch along tonight and the voice chat channels for people in the Discord to talk to each other. Seems to be going well. Much love to everyone. I did a Q&A session 2 weeks in a row before ROH. It was very, very fun. I've been loving that community, especially as Tom Campbell got me locked out of Twitter. But it's really nice to have a controlled environment to talk about wrestling in. There are channels for every show that you could want. There are channels for other things. Sean has an Ask SRS channel in there. Please don't ping him. He's a big-time Lexington legend now. He can't be bothered with all the notifications. No, but that channel is specifically for that purpose. So good stuff. And some backup on our theory here. Sir Brendo saying, enjoyed the Discord voice chat tonight. Best $5. Best $5 in the biz.
The Discord is where it's at, man. We took time to build that thing and put it together for everyone. And so I hope everyone's enjoying it. I want to say we because I raised my hand and I was working with it with the boys. I go back once in a while to make sure everything's good and up and running. But yeah, I mean, it's such a great community to be a part of and watch, as there's never anyone there that will not get kicked out. But if they try, they will. But it's cool.
It's a good time. It's definitely a good time. A hugely generous super chat from Ryan saying, Fightful, I just wanted to say thank you for all that you do. I had Gunther winning this tourney for the men's side since the start, but since the announcement from Triple H that the winner is going to get a title shot, I have this gut feeling that Orton is going to win. That does make the reverse engineering a little trickier as far as... Like, it feels like if Gunther is going to go for the title, he has to win, unless they have Ilya Dragunov interfere or something like that. But if you want to get to Orton versus Cody, as they are both faces, you can do that with a tournament. That's actually a good use of a tournament, which WWE doesn't always do the best with, but that's an efficient use of it. And then you have Randy turn heel during or after the match. That could work too, but to me, it does feel like Gunther's to win. I'm going to keep riding that horse because I feel like that is the way to go. Van Twinblade with the important question asking, Kate, is Pulowski in the Bangs gang? Hell yeah, he is, first of all.
What's our sign? Like, no, that's not it.
I mean, Pulowski has...
That's our sign right here.
The most luscious hair in the game, really.
And I was the inaugural member of the Bangs gang. Let's
Can I be part of it? Can I be like, I don't know, the third member?
Yeah,
like I was the third,
you're definitely in there.
Can I be the third guy like WCW and Hogan? Oh, I
Sure.
third man.
Nobody will turn on you. You are sounding slightly robot-y. I don't know if there's anything you can do about it, but we have bad robot in the chat, so as long as you stay a good robot, that's all that really matters. Some more love for this women's stuff here. We got Bad Robot, speak of the devil, saying, I think Nia wins at Bayley, Piper, then Nia, just monster heels, David and Goliath. Kate has the best banks in the biz, and Alex has the most incredible clavicle. Well, thank you for the kind words. Nia winning would make sense. Like, there's certainly, like, I really feel like that one could go either way, because it would be the type of moment that they would book for Lyra, despite Pulowski being angry about it. But Nia winning also makes sense. She needs a big win. She could dine out on it for a long time, as I feel like a lot of heels are bound to do. And there could be a nice setup for her and Bayley at SummerSlam. I don't mind that. Tim McFowle echoing that sentiment, saying, feels like we're getting a Bayley Nia at SummerSlam with Tiffy in the bank, cashing in similar to what Rollins did at Mania to create a big SummerSlam moment. I don't hate that. Tiffy in the bank definitely feels like the way to go, regardless of what that timing looks like. I feel like she is the shoe-in to win it. She is the shoe-in to win it. Guys, keep those super chats and humper chats coming. We thank you so much for all of the support that you guys are giving us today. But let's dive back into SmackDown, where after this match, just a quick backstage with Kayla Braxton interviewing Nia while Bianca is getting medical treatment. Not a ton to say that, just kind of a typical call out. Calling out Lyra, who's at ringside, saying that she went through Bianca the same way she did Becky, conveniently glossing over all of the major losses that she had, which is fair. Heels are allowed to do that, but saying that she's going to win tomorrow and then go on to SummerSlam. So typical stuff. Bianca icing her knee, and you got a Tiffy insult drive-by there. If you have anything to weigh in on with those, feel free to, but kind of standard fare in a way.
Yeah, same thing. Am I still sounding roboty? Like a robot?
A little bit, but not as bad.
Okay, I'm just but to add on to that, no, I'm just like you. I'm just gonna sit around and wait to see where they're going and what they're doing with that.
Yeah, agreed. I think we'll see these things continue to play out, and then Nia and Lyra tomorrow, we will see. But Byron Saxton interviewing Bianca, and she says she's disappointed because she really wanted that crown. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell roll up. Bad audio quality there. Not much better than what Alex is trying to fix. Jade Cargill arrives looking like a star as usual and says to the heels to bug off and that she's going to go get a match. Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae versus Bianca and Jade should be fun. Shayna and Zoe won a contendership match on Monday. How come when Shayna and Zoe win contendership matches, they have to wait months to catch them in? What are we doing with this?
You need to stop having number one contenders matches, or you need to start having number one contenders get their match before anybody else gets a match. You get to pick one and then do it.
I agree. Thanks, Alex. I'm looking forward to seeing the in-ring on this. I'm excited that Candice and Indy get something where they look strong. They've picked up some wins. Them getting a shot that makes them feel like a legitimate tag team is good. Oh my gosh, the women's tag titles being defended on a PLE. Finally, right? This is good stuff, but justice for Shayna and Zoe, man. Now, with Saudi Arabia pay-per-views, I try not to jump to conclusions because I know there are some talent that don't feel comfortable working them. I know Shayna has in the past. I think Zoe worked one, if I can remember correctly, but I'm not positive. But my notes on this just say Shayna and Zoe actually get their contendership challenge. Like, how come they keep winning contenderships and not getting to challenge for the titles with them? Are they just trolling me at this point? Because this is one of my favorite tag teams going. I don't know if this is maybe where Sonya Deville will come into play further to be like, hey, they won this match. She'd been a managerial figure before. She knows how to pierce well. Maybe they can pull some strings. But I just want to see Shayna and Zoe kicking ass as often as possible. That's just me. But I am excited. These titles are finally defended on a PLE, and I love watching Candice LeRae, and I really like Indy Hartwell too. Your thoughts on not just this interview, but what gets set up here?
I don't have any faith in with the Candice LeRae like tag team. Is that bad? I haven't seen anything like good come out of it yet.
I think there's something tricky when the story with the team is that they're lethal and they'll cheat so much that most of their matches are very short because they cut those corners. Because we've seen some very, very short matches from them where we don't actually get to see what they do. So it's kind of a double-edged sword with that because they aren't long enough that you can invest faith in them in a way because you're not seeing the full extent of their capabilities. But also the women's tag picture hasn't been getting treated that seriously until this title switch. So it's probably a little bit of both. And I think it's also one of those things where the outcome is super inevitable. So it's hard to be excited about the other side because you're like, no way, Jade and Bianca are dropping this early, right? So
that's what I believe, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Guys, keep those super chats and humper chats coming. We are working our way through SmackDown, of course, before tomorrow's King and Queen of the Ring at PLE, followed by Double or Nothing on Sunday. So if you are a wrestling podcaster here at Fightful, very possible that you don't have as long of a weekend as a lot of other people out here, but we love it. We love what we get to do. And we love reviewing SmackDown over here. So let's keep working through it. We get Grayson and Austin Theory with the Grayson Waller Effect. And they talk about how, or Grayson Waller is talking about how Austin Theory is one of the most talented, entertaining men on the roster. And Carmelo Hayes saves us from the rest of that lie. He says that he came out because it sounded like they were talking about him, which I love from Carmelo. That feels like such a great heel thing of like, oh, are they talking about how someone is so great? Must be that they were calling me out to the ring. And A-Town Down Under says that they are switching things up. So they're going to have Carmelo come out instead of stupid LA Knights. Theory laughs about Lashley, the Street Profits, or Bobby Lashley only giving the Street Profits advice on how to lose. And Mello says that just like Bobby Lashley, they are selfish and jealous egomaniacs. And then Carmelo Hayes starts talking about LA Knight, saying there's nothing worse than a veteran who hasn't accomplished anything but wants to talk. And boy, does that feel like he was talking about the booking and not LA Knight. This summons LA Knight out. He gets to the ring and says that they're poking a mean dog with a sharp stick, and soon enough, he's going to bite the hell out of him, and they'll figure out whose game this is. He goes to leave, and Mello attacks him. They break down here. The Street Profits come out for the save, and the baby faces clear the ring as we go to break. This goes into the A-Town Down Under match with Carmelo Hayes versus LA Knight and the Street Profits, but a pretty loaded segment here where not a ton happened, to be honest. Which is okay. It's a go home. But not a ton said other than some good old fashioned shit talking. But that's LA Knight's specialty, so I don't mind that. And Carmelo Hayes ain't bad at it either. What were your thoughts on the Grayson Waller Effect tonight?
Yeah, we pivoted away from him for so long. And by him I mean LA Knight. Like, we haven't seen anything really strong for him. I think that this might be, for me, really interesting to see how they how this plays out for him and where they start shifting him around. I like him with the Street Profits. I think that's a pretty good, formidable team for him. And I know that AJ, we'll talk about AJ later, but he mentioned like he doesn't have a lot of time, right? So I think my brain thinks the same way for LA Knight. How much longer can he go before they strap him and do something with him? Like I'm scared that they might not take the time to put something on him for the long run. It's something that's just he's going to be like a middleman,
Well, he is in a contract year, so there might be some things that have to get ironed out. It does feel like they're headed toward LA Knight versus Logan Paul, which makes me happy because he should be the guy to dethrone him. I also think that's a safe setup because if Logan Paul retains and he leaves the company, they're okay on that too. Like he goes out with a pretty solid loss on his way out the company. But we're going to talk about this match in a little bit. But Alex, while you were watching in the evening, some of us were other places in the world. You know what I mean? They were watching a little bit earlier if they wanted to. They're going to be watching their pay-per-views at a bit cheaper of a rate as well because they can be wherever they darn please. And that's all thanks to our wonderful sponsor at NordVPN. Sean Rossap is going to tell you all about it. If it will play, please.
Buying pay-per-views on NordVPN.com/Fightful is going to enhance your pay-per-view buying process. Now, one subscription to NordVPN has so many different benefits, but if you're a big pay-per-view buyer like myself, UFC, boxing, pro wrestling, all that good stuff, any combination of the three, if they're doing a fight circus or something like that, this subscription will pay for itself after one or two pay-per-view buys. Change your virtual location, pay for it at the prices that other people are paying for it in the UK, in Australia, etc., etc. And you can get different interfaces. Maybe you don't like Peacock and you want to check out the WWE Network the way that it used to be, the way that it was designed to be, the easy navigation, so on and so forth. Maybe you want to watch AEW without commercials. Maybe there's some other overseas services that you can't subscribe to and you want access to them. NordVPN.com/Fightful gives you that with a great deal and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Even better, 24/7 tech support, so if you have trouble navigating any of it, they can help you out. Fastest VPN on the planet, NordVPN.com/Fightful.
Every time coming out of the ads, I swear to goodness. But NordVPN.com, code Fightful, save you so much money on the best VPN in the game. They've been a wonderful sponsor to us. We're keeping the momentum going with them. Tell them we found out about them through us, if you would be so kind. Social media, whatever. And that discount actually does save you a ton of money. That's not like, oh, you get 10% off shipping or whatever. That is a money-saving measure if you are investing in a VPN. So please check them out. They've been great to us. Be kind to them if you would be so. And we'll remind you to subscribe to FightfulSelect.com. Not only the Discord that everybody was bragging about earlier, and we thank them so much, especially Zach for participating and pulling double duty, also moderating for us a little bit today, assisting Luis for us, but FightfulSelect.com, all the scoops you could ever want, an update on MJF that came out yesterday. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of breaking news coming out of this weekend. There always seems to be, for better or for worse, with an AEW pay-per-view. Hopefully for better. They've got a pretty awesome card lined up for us, so good stuff there. And of course, King and Queen of the Ring, which we're talking about the ghost home of right now. Please go over there and support us. I'm sure we're going to be losing Sean to Lexington Legends contract any day. So we're going to lose subs when he leaves us. He's going to warm that arm up. He's going to be out of here. The minor league baseball system is known for being extremely profitable. So I'm sure we are in a great danger of that. But we move along.
This is where he makes his millions.
This is it. We're going to lose him. He's going to have an agent. He's going to come in here and big time us. But go give those Lexington Legends a follow if you would. Go Lex Legends on Twitter. We move to our multi-man match. A-Town Down Under and Carmelo Hayes versus LA Knight and the Street Profits. LA Knight and the Street Profits get the win pinfall here with a nice frog splash from Montez Ford. A ridiculous one. He just has the best one. On Grayson Waller, this is tricky, and it's kind of one of those ones that says to me, if you can book anything, why are we booking this? Because it doesn't feel like anybody in this should be taking a pin, particularly on the heel side. You just pinned a champion, and you pinned Grayson Waller. So I feel like if you're going to pin either of those two, it should probably be Austin Theory, because maybe we're setting up dissension there. I don't know. But you also don't want Carmelo Hayes pinned, because he's like the young hot prospect that just came up here from NXT. He needs to feel like a big deal on SmackDown. He needs to get established. So I feel like usually when you do champions and another guy, the whole point of that another guy is so that he can take the pinfall, but you can't do that with the another guy that you picked in this. So not my favorite there. I don't love the booking here. I do like the baby faces getting a win though. LA Knight being kept strong in this. Good stuff, but that Montez Ford frog splash and everything he does in the ring is just so impressive. But a fun match here. Not a ton to say because this was pretty stakesless. It was just to continue a story and a feud. Wouldn't hate LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes if we're doing like LA Knight and Logan Paul at SummerSlam and we have a feud in between for Money in the Bank to get us there. Don't hate LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes. That's a fun one. Both of those guys can talk a lot of shit. Carmelo's a phenom. LA Knight, solid in the ring. Sometimes great in the ring, I would say. Good stuff here. I just would like the belts to move off of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller personally. But this was what it was. Any thoughts?
I think when you talk about Carmelo Hayes versus LA Knight, I mean, what a great learning tree it is to be underneath someone like that.
Don't say learning tree. It makes me think of the Jericho stuff.
I did that on purpose. My bad.
No.
But yeah, I think it'll be cool to kind of just see him doing his thing. Like someone LA Knight, like who they can go back and forth, trade a couple wins here and there on their way to SummerSlam, have a little blow off match right before it. What do we have? Money in the Bank before it, right?
Yes.
So I mean, at that point, like you can see Carmelo's star rising, man. You
Sure.
know, and if LA Knight is gonna go and head towards the US title belt, then you start sneaking little things in there left and right. Carmelo's working that heel side. You tell like he's really like pushing it. So he could do a handshake deal with the Paul brothers, you know what I'm saying? And just be like, we could work something out real quick. They're always catching you with the brass knucks. Why not just switch hands for a little bit? So I like where they're going. There's a lot of ways to mix it. And I'm finally happy to see LA Knight in a contender spot. Again, I'll relate this to what I said before. I'm afraid of how long that'll go. I want to see LA Knight in something memorable.
Agreed. And that was kind of what they said on the Grayson Waller Effect, right? Of like, oh, this veteran loves to lecture and he hasn't really won anything. And that to me is a condemnation of the booking. But Alex, it's a new era. So let's hope that perhaps this new era does give LA Knight something. We got some more love coming in.
First time I'm hearing that, by the way.
Norma saying, sup, partners, let's crank. I didn't watch Smackdown, but wanted to support women and Cardozas. Well, thank you for supporting women and Cardozas. Also, my phone is at 69%. Nice. Happy Memorial Day. Well, happy Memorial Day to you, Meet Enormous. I'll tell you what, I have not missed Twitter being locked out of it. It's been like the most peaceful week of my life. But the only thing that did upset me was yesterday's episode of ROH was 69 minutes long. And I couldn't even tweet about it. What a heartbreaking development that was. I was like, oh no, I can't tweet about this 69 minutes. It's perfect. It's for Kate. But no jokes. No jokes for me. Very upsetting.
I'm making a shirt that says 69ing is for Kate.
Oh no. Don't tell the internet that. It'll be terrible for me.
You said it. You got the Bang Bang Gang and the freaking 69 is for me. My God.
There's no way this could end poorly. Not at all. Not at all. Speaking of things going poorly, what was this segment between Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes? And Second Lieutenant Colonel Photo, we thank you for your service in the Photo Brigade. Also wondering the same thing. Please explain WTF that Cody Logan segment was. I'll be honest. Like, I was staunchly anti-Logan Paul. A lot of it was because of some stuff he's done, like, as a person, less so in the ring. I never thought his in-ring was anything other than impressive, except for the psychology aspect. It took time to get that going, but he had like 3 reps when he debuted. So like, that's fine. Right. And since they've shifted from, haha, Kevin Owens is fat, to logical heel stuff where he's telling the truth about stuff and just being an arrogant prick. I don't give a shit about the Prime Energy stuff. That's boring to me. But like him actually calling people out on real shit, I think he's done all right with it. Cody having his first 2 feuds be somewhat heatless, in my opinion, largely because of the schedule. Like they had a contract signing with AJ and then a face-to-face with AJ, which are essentially the same thing, match. And then we had like a 3-week build to Saudi Arabia. So there's just no breathing room in here. So part of it is that, but like, of all the segments they had, this one felt like the messiest to me. I felt like Cody actually contradicted himself, which is weird because he's not. There are things I don't love about Cody Rhodes promos, but usually they're very clear. Like I get the motivations of them. I understand what's going on, but he was kind of in and out of, you're a YouTuber impersonating a wrestler to LOL, no, you're not. Like, this has been very, very jerky, but let's go through a rundown of it, and we will get your thoughts, Alex. So we get footage of Logan Paul giving Michael Cole his brass knucks. Well, I don't trust that one bit, and neither should you. But Cody makes his entrance, but before he can even say anything, Logan Paul comes out. He walks down the aisle, says he's going to take Cody's title tomorrow, backs it up with all these facts or whatever, and says he's smarter than Cody, which doesn't really make sense because we don't have any proof of that. Cody reiterates that he takes him seriously, but that's kind of the opposite of what he said last week. He's also seen Logan have imposter syndrome, and that he believes that he has another set of brass knuckles on him right now. And darn it, wouldn't that just be the case, Alex? Logan says there are no extra knuckles and that he's not a liar and that the ref should shake Cody down first. And then the ref does, but then he checks Logan. And wouldn't you know it, Logan does actually have brass knuckles and is a liar. I did appreciate him saying they're his brother's pants and not his, because that feels like a little sister defense that I would have made in my teen years. Like, if I got caught with something on me, I would have been like, these are Lydia's jeans. These aren't even mine. Lydia's my older sister. So I did appreciate. But then Logan Paul says he's not being totally truthful right after saying he's not a liar. And Cody says basically that the brass knuckles are the difference between the two of them. And he doesn't need a crutch like Logan will. Logan will never be on his level. And that he will regret ever stepping into the ring with him. This just did not hit with me. I don't know what else to say other than that. This was like, it just wasn't good. Cody has gone back and forth on like, you are talented, but you're not as good as me. And I'm not like your other challengers who underestimated you, but then he's like, but you're still not as good as I am. Like, it just feels a little all over the place. And I feel bad because I think Cody Rhodes both times has desperately tried to throw some heat on stuff, but it's just the type of face he is doesn't really allow for it. And then on top of that, these builds have just been like bang, bang, scissor gang fast, like too fast and
too furious.
Too fast, too furious. They were like, this is title for title. JK, no, it's not. Like, if it's supposed to be that Logan is getting into Cody's heads or playing tricks and that Cody is a step ahead of him, I understand the story that they're going for with that, of you have a veteran who is a step ahead of the overly ambitious heel in a way. But it's one that has not successfully been told in my estimation. This was way, I didn't even love the like title for title thing where Logan outfoxed him, but I liked it better than what we got tonight of like double brass knucks. Psych was not for me. But what did you think about this?
This has not been my favorite. You know, I was talking to Freddie before, and he mentioned I don't think they really have anything substantial for
Ding,
him.
ding, ding, name drop.
Sorry, maybe.
Freddie.
No, I'm just kidding.
Freddie Prinz. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I don't know if you heard of Freddie Prinze Jr. I don't know. I know what you did last summer. Anyway. Yeah, like it's not for me. I don't understand why. Like, he was on such a hot streak of storytelling, and it has completely cooled off to the point where it makes absolutely no sense for him to be in the ring with the Logan Paul. Like, I don't know why they would even entertain this. I think that Logan should be on another trajectory, but on his own. I've come to respect his in-ring work and the stuff that he's doing in the ring. Like you, it made no sense. The promo, like, I think of you now as a pro wrestler. That's just like, no, I don't even like. Come on, man. Really? You're playing yourself, bro. Like, if this was the 90s, this is how we talk. You playing yourself, bro. I'm aging myself here, you know. But like, don't play yourself, Cody. Don't call him a pro wrestler. Then call him a YouTuber. Then go back to, you will respect his in-ring work, but you're also a part-timer. Like, it made absolutely no sense for me. And I do hope that this is quick, easy, there's obviously going to be another guy in a bottle again. So
Be another guy in a bottle.
oh, I just
Not a guy in a bottle. Oh no.
oh god, it's so pro wrestling. Guy in a
It
bottle,
is.
but yeah,
Cody Rhodes should just come out with like a recycling man. Like just to that should be
he
the great
should.
equalizer for the Prime Energy bottle.
Oh my god, stop!
Who should
I'm leaving.
be? Let us know in the chat who should be the recycling man.
There's Alex.
The reason that they're doing this outside of kayfabe is, of course, because they need a heel who can take a loss in Saudi Arabia. But yes, Alex.
This is what I was afraid of. They don't know how to book a babyface top guy because they haven't had one in 4 years. So they have no idea what to do with Cody as
Alex,
champ.
it's a new era, though. Haven't you heard?
I mean, the era is not that new. It's been a couple of months. Come on, let's go. What was your plan? What was your plan when you put the title on Cody? Because the plan shouldn't have been AJ Styles, I guess, and then I don't know, Logan Paul and Saudi. Like this is why somehow I want Randy Orton to win King of the Ring, because then you have Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. Randy Orton turns heel on Cody, becomes the champion, and then you can actually book Cody Rhodes to try and get the belt back so he's champion again going into Mania so he can do the thing with Rock. You can do Cody Rhodes being champion, but not for a year. That ain't gonna work. So the best option they have right now, I think, to take the title off of him is Randy Orton turning heel on Cody Rhodes. I think that'll actually work. Please do that, because whatever they're doing now with Cody ain't it.
Hear me out. They haven't really done this before. Maybe they could cut an angle where like they talk about Cody's family, like maybe his dad. I don't know. They bring in some type of like
I feel like that's just so out of left field. Like I feel like it's just weird, like just out of the clear blue sky to mention
Who's Cody's dad?
Oh, it's
I believe he's a son of a plumber. Let me look this up.
It's Benjamin Rhodes.
Old
Rhodes. He's a
old
plumber
Benji.
out of Georgia. He's
Old
a plumber.
Benji.
His dad was a plumber. So
sorry, Daphne did not like our joke very much. She just like banged her head against the desk. Like, pay attention to me. I don't like your Cody's dad jokes.
Since he's a plumber, they used to name him after the pipes he worked with. They called him Rusty Rhodes.
Okay, well, that's enough of Alex Pulaski. We'll have him removed at once for that pun. But I do see where Alex is coming from. If they don't do that, they at least need to have him in a longer term story, because these like quick builds where both of them have had contract signings just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Like they need something with some heat on it and some depth to it. I really think some of this was just getting handicapped by the schedule of PLE 2-3 weeks, another PLE. Like I don't want rematch city like we used to have, but also we gotta get something longer term in place.
I don't want to blame the schedule. I just literally think. I mean, yes, you can use the schedule. I didn't mean it like that, but at the same token,
don't tell me what to do.
I'm sorry. Romano Reigns worked like that. Sounds like a spaghetti sauce I should buy. He just worked like what, once a month, every 2 pay-per-views, and they still had major storytelling for him.
Sure.
Major storytelling.
That's the beauty of factions. I do appreciate that Cody is at least defending with frequency, because
Sure.
the last thing we need is an absent champion. So I'm very happy that he is working very hard and making dates and making towns, and that is good.
I'm proud to have a Latino champion, baby. Cody Rhodes. He's Cuban, or his mom is, so he has a little bit of Cuban in him.
There you go.
He's my, But by the way, I had something I wanted to say, but I'm not going to say it. I'll tell you after the show.
Fair enough. Alex really doesn't like Cody Rhodes, does he? Wants the title off of him already. 2 things are true about that. 1, yes, he does not like the Cody Rhodes character. Largely because of the portrayal of how squeaky clean and overly patriotic and stuff. That's just not
Super.
a Pulowski type character. The other piece of that is that it doesn't feel like they have a super strong plan in place as of right now for what they are doing with him. The AJ feud fell flat. This doesn't feel super hot. So it's two things, I think. But we are going to move along, guys. Get in those super chats. You guys have been great to us tonight. Thank you so much. We appreciate
They still got the whoa.
Whoa! We move in to Orton versus Tama Tonga. And Orton says that Tama Tonga has shown that he's vicious and unhinged and unpredictable, but unfortunately for him, he's Randy Orton, man. So he's built his entire career around that same kind of triumvirate of traits, and he overcomes the odds, and tonight will be no different when he delivers the RKO. Not a ton to say there, but a nice promo before our main events. We also see Bayley walking backstage with the title, and she runs into Nia, telling her to keep that title clean for her. Bayley makes an entrance and sends us to break. Any thoughts on either of those two segments?
No, very, very impactful. I like Nia being there, kind of like, guess what? I'm coming for you. Like, she's already setting the table, bro. Like, don't play around.
We didn't really get one of those from Lyra on Monday, which makes me think maybe Nia is going to go over. So hopefully, I actually am kind of rooting for that possibility because I think there's more intrigue in it. But Flaming's thinking, Alexis, clear your robo voice. It's scratchy and robotic. It's actually a little better than when this Humper chat was.
So I just want to say this. It's also coming in crackly and robotic on Kate. I just didn't want to bring it up. I was like, maybe it is just me and I'm hearing crackle. I don't know.
Am I unclear? Yeesh.
You come in. No, you're coming in a little bit crackly on my headsets, but I don't know if the chat wants to tell me if it's just me. I'm gonna dump these headsets and power bomb them real quick.
I'm definitely glitchy for myself, so we're gonna power through. We're gonna power through here.
It's not us. We are perfect. It's them.
We are. We move on to the Street Profits being interviewed backstage, and DIY comes to talk about how optimistic they are to take the titles, and Tommaso Ciampa pours their cutout and tells them it's empty, or pours their cup out, and tells them that it's empty. Kind of good DIY stuff. My only bummer here is I don't think they're going to win the tag titles, and I really want to because I'm a huge DIY fan. So that's my only thing with that. But we move on to Bayley and Chelsea Green with a quick match here. I feel like Chelsea Green has so much like support and momentum that they just keep killing with these squashes. Like I feel like she could be doing so much more. But Bayley with a convincing win with the Rose Plant. But I do like what happens after here. Piper Niven tries to beat Bayley down. Bayley puts up a fight, but Piper just hits that black hole slam and a couple sentons. And that's really, really fun. Like I like Piper still coming to the defense of Chelsea Green. There's still some sort of working alliance there. So we'll either get a feud between the two of them or they've kind of come back together in this way. I want to see Chelsea get some meaningful wins at some point because she keeps getting punished for doing her job very well. And I don't think that's necessarily fair, but nobody can take a loss like Chelsea Green. I can say that with a lot of positivity behind it. I think that she is excellent at her job. Quick match here. Bayley, of course, looking strong going into the pay-per-view, which is what you want. But your thoughts on this?
Yeah, same. I'm with you. It was quick, to the point. I hope that they have something good for Chelsea. They brought her back, and it kind of just seems like they, always stick her with someone. So I hope that things change.
Revolving door of injured tag team partners there, and they never made the tag titles feel important with her from a defenses standpoint. Like they were never prominently defended, but just the fact that they were on her and Piper with some consistency, I felt like set the division on a closer track, but she never reaped the rewards from that at all. So that's kind of a bummer. But Alex, are you there? Poor Alex on his phone today. We appreciate him sticking it out. And we appreciate you guys joining us, guys. Get in your super chats, get in your humper chats, and also get in your bets at BetOnline AG. There are some fun betting options on BetOnline with these pay-per-views coming up. Some very heavily favorited matches. Will Ospreay, I think, is leading the charge. So if you want to maybe get a low-risk couple of bucks in, you could maybe place a bet on Roddy Strong or someone. But why take it from me when you can hear all about our friends on BetOnline AG right here?
What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful, here to tell you about BetOnline AG. The highest credit card acceptance industry-wide, 25-plus year track record, safe and secure online environments, payouts in minutes, the fastest in the industry. You can bet big with their high limits and rebet functionality, the earliest line, so odds open before the competition, the industry's best bonuses on every qualifying deposit, and we're talking on everything. Wrestling, they got it. MMA, they got it. Boxing, they got it. But hey, you know what? I know we're Fightful. We don't just live for that. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, racing, esports, anything you can think of. Not only that, this is exclusively where Fightful gets our lines from. If you hear us talking about lines on a prediction show or on our post shows, it is always from BetOnline AG. Please bet responsibly and only bet what you can. BetOnline.ag.
BetOnline AG. I'm unmuted in a more timely fashion. That makes me very happy. But guys, get into your super chats and humper chats. We'll remind you one more time to subscribe to FightfulSelect.com. Lots of stuff happening over there of recent. Some updated Julia news from Corey Brennan, the NXT guy or NXT scoopster who is driving Alex crazy with this Lyra Valkyria stuff, but doing a great job for us as always. We really appreciate his work and contributions to FightfulSelect.com. But then Sean Ross Sapp, not only a professional baseball pitcher, but also a pretty darn good scoopster over there on Fightful Select as well. The MJF news, contract news all year long. Some updates on Becky Lynch that went up. Some updates on Natalya. There were some conversations started. So stay tuned to FightfulSelect.com because a lot of your favorites are in free agency this year. We'll see who hits the free agency market and who doesn't, but some AEW tracks coming up as well. They don't usually do the release thing outside of the one time they did releases and then hired half of them back anyway. So we'll see what contracts are up and just not renewed, I guess. But we get this chat from Ryan who says, props to Mike Rome for that Chelsea entrance. Haha. But yes, Piper versus Bayley at Clashel, as we like to call it around here. Clash at the Castle, inject it into my vein. Piper versus Bayley would be very, very fun and a spot that Piper well deserves. And I think with how over Bayley is in Europe every time that they're there, and it obviously being so important for Piper to get an opportunity like that, I think that could be really cool. And I'm sorry that Chelsea has to get smooshed on the way to get there, but sometimes that's what the story calls for. We got a quick interview with AJ Styles and Nick Aldis, who's asking for one more chance against whoever wins the title before he gets desperate and does something to somebody that he regrets. And Aldis considers it and tells Styles he knows how much respect he has for him. And if this were personal, of course, but professionally, he can't just give you title shots. I love the way Nick Aldis runs stuff. All of it is stuff that makes sense, even with that kind of weird segment that we had with the not one-on-one title match or title for title match where he came out and was like, that's not what we agreed to. I love the way Nick Aldis presents himself on this show, doing stuff like that. Like, hey, I really respect you in your career, dude, but as an officiator of my role as the GM around here, I can't do that. And AJ says that Nick knows he doesn't have a lot of time yet left. And Aldis says he can't help him and apologizes. And they go to commercial break. So some good stuff there. We'll see what's next for AJ. We haven't really seen Shinsuke since he got drafted. I wonder if they run back him and Shinsuke under better circumstances because their feud was so poorly done the first time around, and that should be great. But I feel like that could be a fun test or a fun thing to revisit through a better lens. Thoughts on AJ Styles saying he doesn't have a lot of time left? I feel like AEW would be a fun run for him if he did want to go there, but it's also a very crowded roster with the use of the Overflow brand being abysmal in ROH, unfortunately. But what are your thoughts on this AJ interview that we get?
First of all, you can hear me, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Kind of felt like AJ, when he says he's about to lose it, kind of felt like he was going to go after Aldis a little bit there. Kind of give him a little bit of, he kind of gave him a little bit of a look, tapping the desk. That desperation is starting to get through. And if you're not going to give me what I want, I'm going to slap the shit out of you and take it. Yeah. And, we know these gentlemen have made the rounds in the past. And, I don't know if Aldis would want to get back into the ring or if that's even in his future anymore.
I hope so. He's great in the ring.
Yeah, but I felt it. And if I felt it, and if maybe this is the way AJ kind of starts fizzling out a little bit, and does what he wants to do later on, whether just producing or whatever, I think it would be great. I mean, man, like no one's giving him a chance and he finally loses it. Okay, boom, I
would love to see Nick Aldis back in the ring. I assumed that would happen with the Bloodline because of the way that he was kind of like, yeah, I don't really care with all the Roman and Heyman stuff, where Heyman would be like, but the tribal chief says, and he would be like, that has no bearing on me. This is my show and I run it. But I would not mind seeing Nick Aldis and AJ Styles run back. I'm intrigued to see what's next for him, but it certainly feels like a heel turn may be sooner rather than later. Ricardo saying, at work, love you all. Well, thank you, Ricardo. We love you too. You're always so supportive of us, and we appreciate that about you. We also get one from Flame Inc., who wants the internet to get mad at us, I guess, by asking this question, but says WWE on Saturday, AEW on Sunday. Who's got the better show? For me, it's AEW because I feel like most of these pay-per-views in Saudi Arabia aren't really for major story advancement as much as they are for spectacle. And I think there's going to be some cool surprises for Double or Nothing and some really like impactful stuff just because they're heading into All In not that far from now. You got Forbidden Door coming up. So I think it's just a more heavily weighted pay-per-view for AEW. So I'm expecting that one will be better. There's some stuff that I can't wait for on this pay-per-view that Alex won't be able to watch because that triple threat for the IC title, very, very, very much so looking forward to that. I'm also really looking forward to Gunther and Randy Orton, like from a match perspective. That's just interesting to me based on their styles and their characters. It's not a combination that I would have anticipated. So don't mind that. Mm-hmm. Don't mind that at all. I think they'll be good shows, but I think AEW, just because of the implications of it, will probably be a little bit stronger. What do you think?
Am I still crackly? That's what I think.
No, you sound good. You sound all right.
All right, perfect. I apologize to everyone. Unfortunately, like I mentioned on the top of the show, their new complexes are being built and they're working overnight, and my internet took a hit. Anyway, AEW. I definitely feel like AEW has the better show. It has a lot more stories that with a lot of impact, like you said before, a lot of things that have to move forward. It's the 5-year anniversary of that show. So they're kind of now chugging along and about to beat the record for Monday Nitro being on the air, which is insane. I love TNA and I love what they've done in the last 22 plus years of being on television, but there's always a little bit miscues here and there with TNA, but AEW has had a strong relationship with TNT and Turner itself, and they just seem to be teasing something bigger is coming. So yeah, I think this pay-per-view is going to set up the rest of the summer for them.
Yeah, I think The only thing I don't like about it is the triple main event, because that means there is no main event, and that makes me want to barf. But we will see. I'm looking forward to both of them genuinely, because there's a couple matches that I really want to see on this pay-per-view that we're heading into tomorrow, and the Double or Nothing card looks loaded. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy.
Wrestling is for me, man. I'm having major wrestling matches on a weekend, on Memorial Day weekend. Are you serious right now? I'm like so well fed by all these wrestling organizations right now. I'm gonna blow out of my pants.
If only I had a Bluetooth segue for tonight, but I don't. Sadly, good for you guys though, because that would be another ad spot you guys don't have to sit through. But I'm also looking forward to it. I got asked yesterday, like, do you even like ROH used to be your favorite brand and it's not doing anything right now? Like, do you even want to do this post show? And the answer is yes, because I get paid to watch wrestling and talk about it.
Do you even like wrestling, Kate? Like,
do you even like wrestle, bro?
Do you even watch, bro?
But I understood what they were saying, because I basically rant about the same things every week. But like, I get paid to talk about wrestling. Like, of course I
don't think people understand that. No, because we get stuff thrown at us, unfortunately. But we are getting paid to talk about this great sport.
True. I mean, I get it, because ROH was my favorite brand, and they've run it completely into the ground for no reason and destroyed it and broken my heart.
Well, you should take it over. I don't know why you're not putting your damn hat in the ring.
Oh my God, Cade of Honor, I'm here for it.
Cade of Honor, wow,
Ring of Cater, something like that. But we come back from commercial, and speaking of things that break my heart, we got Andrade hype reel about how this hasn't been an easy journey, but he controls his destiny. He doesn't talk about bee's knees, unfortunately, which is Alex Pulaski's favorite thing in the world, because it sounds like he's saying bee's knees. But he's going to show everyone who he is, and oh my goodness, let's get the show on the road with this guy, please.
I know.
We also get Legado, who are backstage, and they are so upset about Andrade, but Elektra Lopez and Santos Escobar kind of calm everything down. Can Hispanics on the show only fight each other, Alex? That's what I want to know.
I'm so tired of this shit. Like,
but this is the problem. Please give me Andrade versus Santos Escobar, because that will feed families. Like, I'm dying to see that, but it is also like, why can't they face anybody else?
I don't know. Listen, we Hispanics, we love a lot of people. We love almost everyone, almost. We want to fight everyone, and we also want to love everyone. So let's just put it like that. See, like, I just don't understand. It's like always in pro wrestling. I'm not going to single out WWE, but in pro wrestling and wrestling itself, it's always the bucket system. Bucket everything that's alike in a bucket, right? Like, it's so freaking weird. Like, why do we need to have the Hispanics, the Latinos facing each other all the time? No, we don't. Like, get Shinsuke involved. Let Andrade get pissed off and talk crap about Shinsuke. Also, you just said it yourself. When are we gonna get Andrade? Seems to be just one long backstage segment or promo at both companies, by the way. At both companies.
It is very frustrating, especially because on Raw he was like, I am coming after Dominic Mysterio, and then he was like, I am on another brand. We are not doing anything about it. Him being a King of the Ring, I would have loved. For a real run, I felt like that would have been cool, but that's that. Man. We also get a Blair Davenport vignette, which is good, because I think a lot of people forgot that she had even gotten drafted, but my goodness. I think we are joined quickly by a legend, a Lexington legend in the house. Who might be here to recant his experience. Oh my goodness.
My God.
Are you signed? Right, are you signed, Sean? Are you joining the stream?
Sorry, I was just having my fun.
Fine.
The stream just went crazy on my end.
Mine too.
Yeah, I just kept poking Alex out of the stream.
Mm-hmm. No, I was just lurking.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll just keep going with the show unless that gets figured out.
Sure, let's just do it right now.
I don't know what's happening.
Did you go 7 for 7 with 3 grand slams?
No, I left by the 4th inning, but I saw 4 home runs in that amount of time.
Ow.
My family surprised me and showed up there. That was very cool. Shout out to Kate for
What is
organizing
happening?
a lot of this. What do you mean? What is happening?
I just have a black screen. Do you just have a black screen in the center of us?
No, we all see each other.
No, we all see. Yeah, we all see everybody.
I told you we were having issues this whole show. It's not us. I think it's them.
I
It could
think
be.
it's
I'll
Kate.
leave and come back.
Specifically
Sean,
Kate.
you just threw all the. I'm trying to be nice, and Sean's like, no, it is
Specifically Kate, and Kate's internet is what this is.
Mhm.
I was trying to compliment her, and she was like, "What's going on?" A little plug for you guys. FightfulSelect.com. We've just had an insane amount of news over the last couple days. MJF's return. I was hinting about it the last couple of weeks, I think it was. Also, we had an update on Kenny Omega on our free tier. For those of you who aren't aware, we do have a free tier of Fightful Select that we've got. And if you don't want to pay the $5, you can get the free stories and see the headlines for the paid stories. You also had a Julia WWE update. We had SmackDown producers, SmackDown plans, Natalia news. That was and the employee cuts, unfortunately, on the free tier.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a lot more on Saturday, including the rundown for King and Queen of the Ring. We're going to have producers, backstage news. We're going to have a big scoops thread on Double or Nothing. We've got a lot of AEW news coming to Fightful Select, a lot of it. But check that out. And I've got reviews for both shows. But Kate, are you here?
I am here. I am.
What kind of gateway PC are you using?
He's a gateway.
My internet's been so much better. It's not till you come on that it breaks.
You're using the PC that came in the box with the cow pattern on it and all that stuff?
With
Mhm.
Windows Me built into it.
That would probably work better at this point, honestly.
Kate's about to look at the screen and say, "No, dude, I've got a Dell." Is what she's
That's right.
She has
I
her
don't have
CompuServe
Dell.
with a giant monitor.
Steve was such a legend from those Dell commercials, though.
She's running this on a Tandy. She can play Stellar 7 on it. From
She has the speakers built in.
1990.
What
She
are
can hear
they
a phone
called?
call coming through them.
Don't make fun of
What
my
do they call
Windows
those-
3.1 setup.
What did they call those Macs that were like all the colors of Skittles?
Yeah.
Like
The IMAX.
The iMac.
IMAX. Yeah,
yeah.
IMAX. There you go. She's
Yo, I would love one of those. Are you kidding?
Oh my god.
Kate's like, "Hey
Yeah.
guys, leave me alone. My hours just ran out on AOL. I need a new disc."
I might need a new disc, Sean.
But yeah, I threw out a first pitch today. Thanks to Kate for helping organize all
wow,
that.
Yeah, a little gratitude. Thank you, Sean.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I love
Look
that.
at that. Nice.
You're a Lexington
Sweet.
legend.
Look at you.
Yeah.
I've been watching them for 20 years.
I set that up so that you would become a gift, and then you just did okay. So that's
I'm
very
just saying,
disappointing.
even though it's called awfulannouncing.com, I
Mhm.
definitely did make this Rising Stars list. And
Yeah.
Adam Wainwright, former pitcher of the St. Louis Cardinals, was on that list. And I'll let you know which one of us threw a pitch more recently.
Yep.
That is fair.
That'd be.
That is fair.
Yeah.
You throw a
Congratulations
little,
on that, by the
little
way. That's-
slider. What you do? A slider?
Oh
curve,
no,
knuckle
I
curve?
lobbed that in. It was like a Henry Rowan Gardner floater. I didn't want to become a meme. Are you serious? I was not gonna be 50 Cent. No way.
There were 2,000 little leaguers there at least, so that's
Yeah.
a lot of pressure because there's
Let me
nobody
tell ya,
meaner than little leaguers.
They had one of those kids do it right after me, and he was not worried about being a meme. He fired that thing in there. I'm not sure I
Oh,
could
yeah.
have hit it. I was just like, he pitches every week. He's good. His arm's loose.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I was looking for my Sabo glasses, but they're not here. I was
Hmm.
gonna say I can only give you third base advice with those.
Shame. He played a
Shame.
few other positions, I think, but mainly third base. Yes.
Yeah, he was hot corner, right?
Yeah. He was. That's where he played all-star games at. and stuff,
Hot
but-
corner.
I played third base. I was hot corner Kate.
Okay. Hot
Wow.
corner Kate. Wow.
Listen,
He
I'm
played
sorry.
like-
Hot
Oh no! Oh, something happened to Alex! Oh no!
Wow. You just dropped him like it was hot.
Just dropped him like it was my internet.
Yeah. My God.
Hot corner Kate could have a lot of other.
That's I didn't want to
meanings,
say it. I'm
and
glad
No,
you did.
really? You think that nickname
I
came
feel
about
like
in high school
maybe.
had other implications? No
I
way.
feel like maybe.
Hot corner
Oh,
Kate
Jesus.
from the Bang Bang. From the
Yeah.
Bang Bang.
That's right,
gang,
from the Bang Bangs gang, baby.
with her brand new 69er Kate shirt that she's about
Mhm.
to
That's
Yep.
right.
print out. This show's gone to hell.
I love it. I
Never
love
got
it.
out of there, fella, but it's fine.
It's Friday night.
My
Well,
God.
congratulations on your commemorative baseball and your
Yeah.
throwing
Yeah, dude,
out
that's
those
awesome,
shirts.
man. You got
Yeah,
gold
I'll
ball
say
and
this.
everything.
That dumbass little kid didn't get one.
Wow.
I love that.
How old was this dumbass little kid, you think?
Old enough to know that he didn't get one of these baseballs.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Right.
That's all that matters. Well, good. Good.
Yeah.
You should put it on the trophy case that's behind you.
Sean, is there
I'm-
video of this?
yeah, I got a video somewhere. I'm
Okay.
sure.
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, I am actually going to reveal some news and the
Ooh.
like. There were people asking about Natalya not being there, if that was a sign or anything, not her being not in Saudi Arabia, because TJ Wilson was and all that. They are they are in talks right now. She and WWE, they have approached her. I've heard it's a decent deal and all that. They had her in New York doing like Special Olympics, military work, and the like. An interesting production note that I noticed from last week. Now, there's not heavy producer influence on the post-show dark matches, but there were 2 world title matches as dark matches last week on SmackDown. There was, I think, a Damian Priest match and a Cody Rhodes match. I'm not sure. There were 2 world title matches either way. Molly Holly produced both of those solo, which is very, very rare, even in dark match
Wow.
segments to
Wow.
see. In fact, sometimes now she doesn't even produce matches solo on the main show, like Bayley and Chelsea Green. Sean Davari helped out with that. But a bit of an interesting production note that ended up happening. Michael Hayes is back producing Bloodline related stuff solo. It was interesting because you could kind of tell
Solo.
based. What is it?
Solo. I see what you did there.
yeah.
Bloodline stuff.
Damn it.
You could end up seeing who was going to work with the Bloodline sometimes based on what Michael Hayes was producing, because not only would he produce their stuff, he would produce stuff that was featuring people that they were about to work with. That was also something that used to happen with Paul Heyman when he was listed as a writer on certain segments. But yeah, a little bit of an interesting note there. And also like Cross, Scarlett, there are a few people there that just weren't booked for much of anything. We're just there chilling. For those asking, yes, that was absolutely a private beach that they were all taking pictures at and all that. The roster, the roster was all hanging out this past week and all that. And listen, they know the drill. They know that they wouldn't be able to do that in any other circumstances. So I think they're probably just making the best of it. But we're going to have a full review tomorrow and then sort of a full review on Fightful Select with Alex and Kate. So that should be fun. It's one of their more popular shows, but
Heck yeah. It looks like Alex is smelling the super chat from Antique Collins saying, here for the scoops. Well, you got some. You got some right there. And you can get more at FightfulSelect.com. A lot of fun to be had in the Discord today.
a fun thing that happened while I was there. So Kate, you know, the people of that on that team are wrestling fans because they interacted with you. They played the cha-cha slide, which isn't fun at all, actually. And the part where they talk about clapping your hands, they showed a video of DIY on the apron clapping their hands.
Oh my God, that's
That's
funny.
awesome.
Another fun story. I had a friend and in high school, and he had an extra set of front teeth. And that was fun. And he said, will you burn me a CD with this Metallica song on it? And I said, yeah, sure. What else do you want on it? And he said, literally anything. and I put his Metallica song and then 13 cha-cha slides on right
Oh.
after that.
My goodness. A heel, if there ever was one. I was the first person in my, I'm going to say, 5th grade class to have a CD burner. And so I was the most popular girl in school.
Well,
yeah?
I was not popular the day after that because he told me that he took a sleeping pill, melatonin, whatever, and wanted to listen to his new CD. He goes, "God damn, I knew every word of the cha-cha slide by the time I woke up in the morning."
Top 5 rib, said Luis.
He's like, left, right, Charlie Brown. I knew all of it.
Oh.
God damn it.
Cha-cha again.
Listen, here's an even better rib.
Crisscross.
We had we had that guy join our choir class just because he made us laugh. He was a funny guy.
You were in choir?
He sounded exactly like Johnny Cash when he sang.
Wow.
And our choir teacher is like, "Well, you can't do anything in choir with that." So we did an arrangement just based on that and won the competition.
Wow.
You
Hell
love to
yeah.
see it.
You do love to see it.
Love to see
That's
it.
tough. I wonder what
Take
he's
it back
thinking
now, y'all.
Yeah. The guy,
Very funny John Mulaney sketch to the cha-cha slide on SNL, by the
did
way.
that guy die or was it the Casper slide guy? I think it was Casper slide.
I think that was the Casper slide.
What's the
Yeah.
Casper slide? I don't even know.
There's another one. It's the other one they play at weddings now.
Is it
I
for
too-
ghosts?
I
Friendly
too
one.
like choir. That's crazy.
Wait. He did them both.
Whoa.
I think. Well, listen,
He
DJ
was a
Casper.
slide specialist.
Yes, DJ Casper
Yeah.
did the cha-cha slide. But there was another one.
Shout out to Auntie Collins who came here for the scoops and is now listening to us talk about the cha-cha and Casper slide.
Listen,
For those of you who were like, "Oh, sick, we're getting to the main event."
it is DJ
are.
Casper. He died less than a year ago, RIP. But listen,
Big
I
ups.
think we can all agree the cha-cha slide is at least better than the wobble.
Oh,
Oh,
the
yeah.
wobble
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
Wobble
Yeah.
The wobble sucks. That's like the
Oh.
lowest tier of wedding dance.
Yeah.
Wobble
Oh.
Listen, I had banned all of those songs from my wedding,
Smart
Yeah.
man.
No.
and it was a mistake, man. Dance floor was empty. Some of the girls came up and they said, "Can you unban the cha-cha slide and the wobble?" They appealed, and I said, "Fine." And the DJ, who was a friend of mine, it's like he was ready. Like his finger was already pointing down to the button, and then man,
You guys don't know the wobble? Some of the people in the chat don't know the wobble. It
Yeah.
sucks. It's
Yep.
stupid. Be glad you don't know
so
it.
bad.
Mhm.
I would get lured to a bar by one of my visiting friends called the Plaza in our college town.
Yeah.
And it is one of those types of bars that has pool tables and a punch rating machine.
Mm.
And like in between them playing the wobble every 12 minutes,
Yep.
you would look over and the same guy was punching this punch machine all night long, which means like, there's 3 options there. He was really bored, he was trying to impress a girl, or he thought he was being recruited by somebody.
Mm.
Like he thought this was his big break because he was feeding that thing dollars all night long. I've never seen him since, so he did not become a major UFC star.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm heading to your home. I'm gonna hang out with Sean one of these days. Just go over for a
It
weekend.
is not fun. It's not fun. Listen,
There's Jesus Golf by you. What are you talking
wait.
Jesus golf.
Okay, hold on. Did I tell you guys what the actual name of it was? I feel like, I didn't. I told In the Weeds. Okay, so I have talked about Jesus Golf a lot. I
Yes.
play plenty of Jesus Golf, and people will go, "What the hell is Jesus Golf?" My IRL best friend, like 8-9 years ago, was like, "You got to come play Jesus Golf," and I was like, "No, that's dumb." And then I got there. It's amazing. It's so good. It's Bible themed mini golf. And it's like really, really great. So I looked at the hours for it to open up this year. And I saw the name and I go, "Oh my God, it's the only thing better than Jesus Golf." It's Fairway to Heaven.
No.
I was like, we've been like facetiously calling it Jesus Golf for so long, and they got us. They one-upped us. They're very self-aware. Bible, like parting the water. Yes, there is literally a hole. Here's the funny thing. They have Old Testament, New Testament, and miracles. Old Testament, appropriately, the hardest.
Story time.
A little, the Old Testament's a little rude sometimes.
A lot of time.
It makes you sacrifice your wife
Yes.
in order to get the hole in one.
Don't bring your children to that one. You're not going to leave with them.
Mm-hmm.
Or your animals. It just becomes a whole thing.
Yeah, if you hit the stroke limit, it's
not great.
Gotta sacrifice one of your loved ones or an animal or something. It sucks, man.
Bummer. All because of mini golf.
Man.
I just got a text from my cousin that said, and I quote, "The show is at its peak tonight." And he said the fucking cha-cha slide. My cousin, who watches, and unlike most of my family that watches, also watches wrestling. So shout out to him.
Sean, you're in Kentucky, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've never been, man. So yeah, there we go.
Lucky you.
Jesus,
actually, I love Lexington.
Love Kentucky.
I love where I am. Like I was not entertained as a teenager living where I lived because there wasn't anything to do besides get in trouble. But like out here in Lexington, I really enjoy it. Like you can go to a independent baseball game, you can go to college football, college basketball, stuff like that, especially now that they can get paid, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got lots of theaters, arcades, Jesus Golf is a thing.
You got arcades, bro. That's awesome.
I remember right before you moved, you were like, I can't even get DoorDash out here. I need to get out of here.
They do have DoorDash back where I live now, but it's like just Wendy's, Taco Bell, Subway. That's it. And I'm sure there's like one dasher out there that's doing it all.
Of course.
Like one guy.
Well, dang.
Kate's going to miss Burn Notice.
I hate that show. You love that show too, don't you?
So
Burn Notice?
I'm sure we're way off track of whatever it is you all were talking about.
No, just the main event. No big deal.
No, the main event. All right.
Just the most important part of the show. No big deal. Keep going.
I can't wait until one day I get to go ahead to give you all the greatest quote on air that Randy Orton ever gave me about anything because it was phenomenal.
I heard it. I think
you did, and it lives up to the hype.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch like any TV besides like South Park and baseball and wrestling. That's it. And I would just catch.
Man, that's not relatable at all.
And Burn Notice was on after Raw. They got me with it, and I watched it. And I don't like Monster of the Week shows. I really don't. And that's kind of what that is. It's a different side mission every single week. But I did learn how to break a lock on there, and I had a storage unit and a storage unit that I had, and the lock was rusted out. And the owner of the storage unit said, tough shit, get bolt cutters or figure out how to break the lock. And I had a can of screen duster. And because of Burn Notice, I knew to turn it upside down and freeze the lock, and it broke it off. It was pretty nice.
Wow.
I embarrassing to admit this, but I've already admitted it publicly and to Jeremy. I got sucked into Temptation Island from the Smackdown lead-in, I think, which is so much worse than Burn Notice.
Yeah, it is. You got no way you can ever say anything about Burn Notice. Like the only, you know what? It could be worse. You could be a Crisley girl.
No. Bottom of the barrel there.
I did silk stockings.
Hell yeah.
That's the age I come from. So, and then I did
Duckman.
Remember
Not
Monk?
after Raw, but Duckman would be on late on USA sometimes.
Yeah, so that's my.
There was an episode of Raw where Jerry Lawler interviewed a character from Duckman.
What the
Not
hell is
Duckman.
and why don't I know about it?
It was like an Adult Swim type cartoon on USA before Adult Swim existed.
Was he?
Jason Alexander was the voice of Duckman,
and
then there was a different guy who was the pig wearing a suit. I don't remember what his name was, but Jerry Lawler interviewed him via telephone during a
Yes.
match on an episode of Raw.
Was he a person with a duck head or something? Like what was?
No,
It's
he was a duck.
cartoon. It was a
He was a
duck
duck.
wearing clothes
Yeah.
and glasses. It was a cartoon.
Okay, but like Howard the Duck.
Very Beavis and Butthead like.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
very 90s.
Yeah, very, very nice.
I'll need to dig into
Darla. Remember Darla? Yeah, there we go. So Randy Orton, right? And I'm like,
Oh, look at Alex wanting to talk about wrestling in the main event of the show.
oh,
we
I'm
reviewed.
so sorry. I mean, I'm just.
There was an alternate universe where I was at least intrigued to see Tama Tonga win because his dad was King Haku. But also, I would have liked, I wouldn't have minded to see the bloodline get on the bad side of Gunther in some capacity. I think that could have called for something great because Gunther and Roman Reigns is a match that I want to see in the future. And but I mean, I think that tomorrow's match is wildly unpredictable with Gunther and Randy Orton because they could go Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, or they could go Gunther versus literally anybody,
Right.
and it would be good.
Agreed.
If they say Gunther is going to face the trash can that holds the 24/7 title at SummerSlam, it's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
What if Gunther was the 24/7 champion?
I always wanted there to be a 24/7 champion like Gunther where people go, not worth it.
I'm good.
I don't need that. I don't need that in my life.
He just
Yep.
swats them aside if anybody tries. That's not bad.
You know, they'd be like, I'm good. I don't really need the belt that much.
I'm fine, actually.
That's how it should have went away, is that somebody had it and they just never really lost it.
Mhm.
What if instead it was a bunch of people just swarming one person constantly?
Mm.
I should probably go set up my podcast now. That's why I was on the back end of this website.
okay.
So,
All right.
Oh,
Cool.
all right.
see you guys.
Bye.
Come for the scoop, stay for the Duckman talk, as we always say.
Mhm.
And burn notice. I can't believe I admitted
Burn notice.
that I watched Temptation Island on purpose. I got tempted. I don't know what to tell you people, but
It's in the name, Kate.
it was right there. I don't normally watch a ton of trashy reality television shows. I don't know why that one I did, but gives me and Lambert something to talk about continually. But
I
you
tried
guys
the
wanna talk
HBO
about the
one,
main
by the
event?
way.
Yeah, sure. I didn't watch the show because morals, but I did see film of Tama Tonga's entrance where he crawled out like Demon Finn Balor, except he's an actual human being. I think. I'm not sure.
It kind of feels Gorillas of Destiny-ish when they were in their face paint era.
All right.
A lot of people have said that they like the theme as like one of the better Def Rebel ones. I feel like if you hear that in a Royal Rumble, it still feels pretty generic. That's my only thing. It's like there's not like a snap to it that makes it feel good. But we get Randy Orton winning this with the RKO, and then we have the newly reformed Bloodline come in to make attacks, and Kevin Owens returning to go after Solo Sikoa, hot off of the Taylor Swift Eras tour with his family, which is adorable, into Saudi Arabia to go after Solo Sikoa. You love to see it. Get a man who can do both, as they say. But this match was a lot of fun, honestly. They gave it a lot of time. I think this was a pretty good showing for Tama Tonga, but Randy Orton, kind of who you figured with what we saw on Monday. That was kind of the only thing about this SmackDown was you could see the winners a mile away just because of how it had to be set up essentially to make the stories work. But I still think Gunther's winning tomorrow. I wouldn't be stunned if Randy Orton did, but I want it to be Gunther. I feel like the King General is the way to go. It feels like this tournament was brought back for him, but I wouldn't be like super mad if Randy won it because Randy versus Cody is something I think would be good to get to. But a solid main event. Like this was obviously it was very go homey tonight, but for what they gave us, pretty good. And it's always nice when Randy Orton feels energized to do his job. And he certainly has the past couple weeks going into tomorrow. he seems like someone that would genuinely be excited to face Gunther. So I'm excited to see what we get out of this. I'll leave the floor open. I'll just, you know what I'll do? I'll say, Alex, your thoughts.
Well, then, all I got to say is this. Randy Orton, to me, is like someone who is not taking the limelight away from anyone. He doesn't feel like he's trying to push himself into matches. Like, he, to me, feels like the right person to be put into these situations, like the King of the Ring, right? Where he could elevate someone. Man, I know that Gunther is elevated as fuck because he's, excuse my language, as F, because he's the reign that he just had beforehand. But I feel like these two are really going to go the distance. This feels like a big match for me with Gunther and Randy, just because of obviously it's Randy Orton. I mean, I've been watching him for 20 plus years now in my brain, so it's just like I feel like Gunther might take it, and if Gunther does take it, Randy's just gonna be hella surprised, like, oh my god, he's gonna give him that smirk, like, you got me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that nod, and then probably just beat him up afterwards.
I think either way it feels like a big deal, and that's a good sign.
It does.
Like,
yeah.
if Gunther beats Randy Orton, that's a feather in the cap for him. If Randy Orton beats the unbeatable Gunther, that's a really good step for him to take too. Pulowski, you said you're kind of rooting for Randy at this point, and I think that's probably because of the booking possibilities coming out of this with now the SummerSlam title stipulation being in play here.
Listen, if they could pick either championship, then I want Gunther to win and pick Cody.
Right.
That's the match. But because he can only challenge for the Raw title, that becomes a minefield to me, because we already know we're getting Priest versus Drew at Clash at the Castle. So I think we all want Drew to win at home in Glasgow, right? So Drew wins and then faces Gunther at SummerSlam. But Gunther can't lose that. Gunther's got to have a rocket strapped to him, to me. Like, if he wins the King of the Ring, he's winning that title at SummerSlam. So that means that McIntyre, if he wins at Clash at the Castle, would then lose that title less than about 6 weeks later to Gunther at SummerSlam. And that's fine. No, not every title win's got to be really long, but like, what are you doing with Drew in the meantime? Once you give him that title, how do you book that reign? Or the major problem with all of this is there's that looming CM Punk thing.
Yeah.
So does Punk cost
Drew
in Glasgow? Because that's the heeliest move ever, and they're going to book him as a babyface having done it, and that sucks. So does then Drew win in Glasgow and Punk cost Drew at SummerSlam? Because then Gunther is only the champion because Punk helped him.
Right,
That's a no across the board from me always.
Yeah.
So unless somehow Damian Priest is still the champion at like there, and Punk doesn't get involved at all, that like.
But Drew losing clean to Priest also feels very wrong. So
Which is why I am rooting for Randy, because I don't think you get to babyface Randy, because he's fully babyface now, versus babyface Cody any other way. And you get a possibility of Randy turning heel to beat Cody in the match. So we get another title reign from Randy. He should get another one before he retires. And then Cody can get the belt back. I have no problem with Cody, because everybody says you got to have Cody versus Rock for the title at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. I'm like, fine, as long as Cody loses the title somewhere in the mix, and if he gets it back to face Rock, then I'm okay with it. But I just don't want another year-long title reign.
I like what you say. I 100% think that if this whole deal with WWE wants to book Heat. Heat is nuclear. They want that pop, and they want that visual. They want those social media clicks. what better way than to have Punk interfere in that match one way or another? You know what I'm saying? And then
Luis.
you have
Yeah.
Priest as the chicken shit heel, kind of like
well,
laughing his ass
no.
off backing out of there.
That's the problem. They want Priest babyface. That's why he's behaving the way he is to the rest of his Judgment Day guys. He doesn't want them involved in his stuff because they're making him a babyface. Now, I thought this too, Luis, until I went back and watched Triple H announce it at the press conference. He says they will get a title shot for the title on their respective brand.
Yeah.
At SummerSlam. He specifically spells it out. So they cannot cross brand with the title shot. I mean, they could just change it. They could just change their mind. Apparently they do that all the time. So
well, maybe they'll send Gunther a cheese platter if Triple H misspoke.
Wow.
That
I've seen
has
that
been
happen before.
Known to happen before. DNC Digital chiming in on the Sean CD burning cha-cha slide conversation earlier. I'm sorry I missed this, but the best part of that is he listened to the song and waited for the next song, hoping it would be different, and didn't stop said process for the entire CD.
I also love that it was 13 cha-cha slides. After the 6th, wouldn't you assume the rest were just also cha-cha slides?
Especially when like you're starting with Metallica, and most CD players had that like repeat just the first track thing. Yeah. But DNC Digital also chiming in with a non-CD burner related thing, saying Randy wins King of the Ring, Drew wins at Clash, Randy Cody at SummerSlam, Gunther beats Drew in Berlin, Drew Punk at SummerSlam. Not sure who I would have Gunther face at SummerSlam.
I don't know what you do. Like Drew and Punk feels
like 6 months or 3 months.
That's an era of finality to it if you do it that way. I feel like it's got to build to something, and I just don't know because they're firmly with Drew heel and CM Punk babyface right now.
Yeah,
they could change that by SummerSlam, but it feels far off. I love the idea of Drew keeping it all the way till Berlin and losing it to Gunther there, but I don't know they're going to do that.
You could revisit this. I'm also concerned that Ilya costs Gunther tomorrow, so we'll see.
That is not Ilya's style. Like, besides, Ilya's already he's locked into a new feud. He's feuding with Braun Breaker. He cut a promo on Braun Breaker after Monday. Like he's got a new thing to do.
Let's hope it stays that way.
There's a 33 and a third chance that he can jump in tomorrow.
There is. But guys, we're going to call that a show for tonight. We have so much coming up for you this weekend. Oh my gosh. We've got your regular King and Queen of the Ring post show here on the main channel. You've got me and Alex doing Sands of Blind on Fightful Select, where I fill Alex in on the show and plant 3 lies, and he has to detect them all. Oh my gosh.
These King and Queen of the Ring finals, I am screwed. Because if you tell a lie really well, I might have to buy it. And but then I might think that you were telling a lie even if you weren't. Those are minefields. I am screwed tomorrow.
It's going to be a fun one because there's lots of seeds that I could plant. Ryan Sully asking, is the finals for the tournament 60 minutes? If so, do you think Orton and Gunther go near that limit? Cheers. I don't.
No, I don't.
WWE doesn't do time limits.
60 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think the story would warrant it either. Like, I think if you do 60 minutes, I think the story has to call for it. And I don't think Gunther's that guy. And I don't think Randy Orton's that guy either. Like, no. I don't think someone should be able to survive Gunther for 60 minutes under pretty much any circumstance. But I did forget to do this. I'm glad Luis brought it up. This is a long show, so I apologize for how long it's run. But I did say, because I skipped over the spooky lore last week and I felt bad about it, that I would rock and roll this week and kind of fill you in on what happened, because it's not my favorite thing and it's not Cardozo's favorite thing, but it's a lot of people's favorite thing. And I felt like I didn't do a good job last week. So we're going to do it now. Basically, WWE used WhatsApp to tease a second Twitch streaming video a week after the first one on Thursday. That video is out there. It dropped on Bray Wyatt's birthday. Depending on how you read the clues, you can kind of see where every person has been revealed. We had like a figure with a glove on writing these letters, which was very, very creepy. One letter says, "It's never easy to feel lost. You have lost too much already. You deserve to be set free. I know you are angry and that's okay. Let me show you what anger can do. You are ready to take off the blindfold. When you are ready to take off the blindfold and come find me, you can always wear your mask," smiley face. A lot of people thinking that's Eric Rowan because he's the last surviving member, unfortunately, of the original Wyatt family, known for that sheep's mask. The second one said, "I am so sad to see you look for a friend, but find none." The second letter read, "How sad for them to miss out on finding someone as special as you. I have watched you stare into the abyss, hoping someone would look back. I want you to know I see you. You are seen. You are loved. Come home. Your new family awaits." A lot of people suspecting that's Nikki Cross.
Oh, that's definitely Nikki.
Yeah, feels that way. Feels that way for sure. The third one said, "Your family betrayed you. You deserve better. You are accepted as you are. Come to me and I will make you brand new. I will set you free. We can be a real family. We can be a real family." This one's a little more vague, but a lot of people saying this is Dexter Loomis, who's been off TV since forever. And the other family members being the way kind of has a nice ring to it. He was a psychotic artist, if you were unfamiliar with him.
That could also be Joe Gacy, whose family members abandoned him as well.
It could be. This one is what people are assuming is Joe Gacy.
No.
You had followers and they betrayed you. They turned their backs, and when you were asking for help, asking for love, asking for anyone to notice you, they all did nothing. I will give you a family. Let's teach them consequences. With a smiley face as well. If you remember those terrible smiley face masks from NXT, a lot of people are thinking that's former Schism leader Joe Gacy, who was in NXT and has not been doing anything in NXT for a while. So we can assume they are called up. But the video ends with letters being delivered and followed by a figure entering a house. And we see a female figure who has been shown before. And we can maybe assume it's either Sister Abigail or a hint at Alexa Bliss being involved. Seems like the man behind the mask is definitely Uncle Howdy, though. But this is something that got skipped over by me, and there's been a lot of creative effort put into it. And I'll try to give a more thorough recap at some point, too, of all the QR codes and stuff. But this show has run very long, so we're going to get out of here. But I'm excited for the people that this is for very, very much. And I just wanted to give it its due diligence a little bit because they have been doing some very cool stuff. But it seems like June 17th is going to be the big reveal based on some of the number stuff that was getting done in this angle too, which is pretty cool. There's been longitude, latitude coordinates released and all sorts of stuff. So people have gone very, very deep into the rabbit hole. And the cool thing is they're probably right. Like these things are pretty carefully crafted, and it's nice when fans get rewarded for being super invested. So always a fan of that. But guys, we're almost at 2 hours, which is a me and Pulowski thing, not usually me and a Cardoza
this is light
thing.
Work. Come on, this is light work.
It is light work compared to what we got the rest of the weekend. We got your main channel show. You got me and Alex on Select, as we already said. You've got a Collision post show as well tomorrow. No Grapsity, but same deal with Double or Nothing. You get Pulowski and I on Fightful Select and your main channel show. And then it starts right back up with Sour Graps for us on Select and your regular rotation. So looking forward to it. But guys, have a safe and fun wrestling weekend. We appreciate you hanging in there to talk SmackDown and Bird Notice and Cha-Cha Slide and whatever we could get our hands on tonight. We appreciate you. Have a safe and wonderful wrestling weekend. And as always, slide to the left, slide to the right, crisscross.